Today, we take on the Diamond Casino heist. Me and my friend went in completely blind with no prior experience, and well, this is how it turned out. So, if you didn't know, this week's GTA Online update revolves around the Diamond Casino, with the arcade businesses being discounted by 40%. Desmond just simply can't miss out on this incredible deal. He is itching for a new business, and as a certified gamer, the arcade was right down his alley. Therefore, we headed over to this marker on the map, and then received a text from Lester saying to meet at Mirror Park. So we casually drove on over, not getting into any trouble along the way, and when we were met by Mr. Crest, he seemed less than pleased.
Message you back and tell you to dick off.
Lester seemed to think that I texted him, and I thought that Lester texted me. It was clear that something wasn't right. But then we were introduced to Georgina Chang, also known as the
89th best dressed lady in China.
89th. That is such a weird and sad thing to flex. After some discussion, she convinced Lester and I to help her rob the Diamond Casino, due to the new owners taking advantage of her older brother. I could not care less about her family problems, but stealing from the famed Diamond Casino, oh boy was I excited. To start preparing for the big score, we had to go ahead and purchase ourselves an arcade. The best one on the market, known as Videogeddon, is located in La Mesa, very close to the casino, and it only costs $1.1 million due to the discounts currently available. An absolutely perfect buy. Once I arrived at the arcade, I met some of my fellow staff. There was Wendy, who seemed pretty chill despite her workplace of choice being this rundown arcade. And then there was Jimmy, a desperate, sad little man who I can only imagine spends his days watching cam girls and playing League of Legends. His job was to clean the place, but since it didn't look like he's had a shower since 2017, I'm not getting my hopes up. Lester gave me a tour of the place, informing me on the details about his personal life that I really didn't care about.
I grew up in these kinds of places. Figure I might as well grow old in one.
That explains a lot, Lester. As we went down to the basement, we once again met up with Georgina, but I was much more interested in what was going on between the other players in my lobby. Bro, what the hell is going on? Truly some degenerate behavior. Now that we're free from the eternal cutscene, we can go ahead and do the setup mission for our arcade. But let's skip ahead in time and just take a look at the intellectual brilliance of Jimothy DeSanta.
Dumbass pieces of shit. Where to God? They're not even connected to a network. And they're busted. I mean, come on.
Are they plugged in?
I was gonna ask the same thing.
Oh.
I'm concerned for the future of my business. Well, at least Lester turned up looking fine and dapper. He probably hasn't worn that suit jacket in 25 years, but I appreciate the effort. He could probably do without the pink tinted glasses though. He looks like some sort of weird playboy, which he definitely isn't. But never mind that, now we're getting to the fun stuff. Once again, back down in the basement, Lester, Georgina, Huang, and myself started discussing the heist. Mr. Crest did his best reenactment of the Pepe Silvia scene,
Like this. Are you with me?
and then proceeded to embarrass himself in front of his crush.
I mean it. Anything, call me.
Roger that. Roger that. Idiot.
After that, we went on a scope out mission to figure out how we are going to be able to pull this off. Desi headed to the casino, changed in public, once again, and began to take various photographs of different points of interest, including the front door, a security guard, a security camera, a keypad, and other things. We then headed up to the roof to take a look at different exit strategies. We found a lot of different locations that may come in handy, even taking a quick dip in the pool because apparently that's a normal thing to do whilst preparing for a major crime. We parachuted off the building and landed gracefully. Well, until that. It seemed that this man had a death wish, and after declaring war on Desmond the Despicable, nickname pending, we're gonna give it to him. From this point on, I didn't concede a single death, wiping the floor with this man, all while continuing to scope out the mission for the heist, finding some extra entrance and exit locations around the back and under the racetrack. There was even another man that joined in on the hunt of Desmond, but they were taken care of as well. Unfortunately, as we were leaving, we were taken down by some angry civilians that for some reason had a grudge against Desmond. I have no idea why. Nevertheless, that was all we needed to do for this part of the scope out, so we headed back to the arcade and started our next mission. Now we had to find out the contents within the vault of the casino. To do this, we went ahead and found a security guard and hacked his phone. Apparently standing right next to him while hacking it isn't very discreet, so the police got onto me pretty quickly. After not too long, we got them off our tail and headed into the casino. We walked around until we found a location with a strong enough signal strength and hacked into the security camera network. After flipping through the different security cameras, we eventually found the vault and found that there was cash inside. Not exactly the diamonds we were looking for, but good enough nonetheless. Now with this scope out mission complete, it was time to head back to the arcade and choose which approach we wanted to go with. Silent and sneaky, the big con, or aggressive. As you may have noticed, Desmond likes to change outfits for different occasions, and would consider himself a man of many fabrics, so the big con was the only option he was really looking at. Now that we've decided on our approach, we have to go ahead and choose what crewmates we would like. I went ahead and chose Carl as my gunman, Zach to collect the getaway vehicles, and Christian is our hacker. Now with that decided, the only thing left to do was to collect the gear for the heist. First of all, we headed over to the Palomino Highlands to collect the weapons. There was a gang hoarding the goods in a coastal exclave. Desmond took them all down and then went to collect the weapons which were held in a seaplane. We flew the plane over to our gunman located at Sandy Shores Airfield, and with that the guns were collected. Next up was collecting our getaway bikes. They were located at a police station, and while Lester advised us to sneak past the guards, Desmond had other ideas. Once the cops were taken care of, it wasn't too difficult. Desmond collected the bikes one by one and delivered them back to the arcade, all while losing the cops along the way each time. Our next task was to collect the hacking device. We headed on over to Strawberry Avenue and took down an agent to collect an FIB security pass. We then drove on over to the Bureau building and didn't do anything that made us look suspicious. We managed to get inside without any complications and headed upstairs to find the hacking device. Unfortunately, by the time we came back down, the guards noticed that something was wrong, and I was shot at and chased by the cops. Of course, they were no match for Desmond the Disciple, nickname also pending, and we made it back to the arcade with ease. Now, as you may all know, the Diamond Casino, much like other heists, require you to have other people. And of course, I didn't want to take on a risk of having just some stranger help me out. So I enlisted the help of my good friend Chad, who is an actual American citizen, so I'm sure his real-world experience will be of use to us in this mission. Continuing on with the setup missions, we needed to acquire key cards to access the casino vault. For this, we first had to hijack a prison bus, which was a simple enough task. The difficult part was driving over to the prison, due to this vehicle being as slow as Barry Allen without the power of friendship. However, we found a solution. Chad could use my car to ram into the back of the bus, speeding it up tremendously. This worked like a charm, and I think we were a little too happy with our strategy and got a bit carried away. Let's go. Hit me again.
This sounds like a weird kink.
Oh yeah?
Alright, hit me again. Hit me again.
Eventually, we reached the prison, and even though we broke through the barrier arm, the guards didn't seem to question us. We then went over to the guard tower and took down the guard to collect the keycard. On our way out, we chose an interesting route, but I guess the guards don't really question you as long as you're in uniform. This country really is corrupt. You betcha. Bro, what are you doing? Our next task was to collect our disguises. First, we headed up to the Vinewood Hills to steal a Bugstar's van. Taking out the guards was easy enough, but clearly driving back was a bit too difficult for my challenged friend. God. What have you done?
What's happening?
So Desmond had to once again do it himself and help push the van off the ledge. To my surprise, Chad didn't seem to be grateful for my help as he refused to let me back in the van. I resorted to getting on the roof, but that didn't go too well either. He eventually felt sorry for me and let me in. It was smooth sailing from there on out, and the van was eventually delivered. I took on the next mission myself as my friend decided to go shopping for some new clothes. The priorities of this man, my god. Anyways, I stole a garbage truck and drove it on over to the casino. The plan was to infest the building with bugs, so I planned to trash bags filled with cockroaches all around the back entrances of the casino. After all this time, my man finally decided to show up, but the job was already done. Next up, we had to go and acquire the vault drills. They were located down at the docks, and after taking down the cops, it was like taking candy from a baby. Chad picked up the other bag shortly after me, and we delivered them back to the arcade within no time. At this point, we could technically begin the heist, but I wanted to do one more optional setup mission to make things just a little bit easier. We were going to pick up a security pass that would help us access the level 2 keypads within the casino. To do this, we were forced to head over to the church and steal a hearse. This was necessary so that we could disguise ourselves as funeral directors and head into the Los Santos coroner. And I must say, we were looking dapper as hell. Once we got inside, we had to find the valet's body to retrieve the security pass. We found him, and after feeling up a dead man, which is one of Desmond's favorite pastimes, we left the building only to be greeted by, what the fuck is happening? There's a giant dildo. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say about that. After escaping the area, we completed the mission, headed back to the arcade, and started up the Diamond Casino heist. Thrown into another cutscene, clearly we didn't have a unified dress code, as Lester turned up in a leather jacket, Chad rocked up in a hoodie and an animal skull, and I was waiting downstairs with my emoji mask on. Lester was clearly expecting someone special, but we made sure to give it to him straight. Terrible, bro. Awful.
Lester, you look like shit.
Fortunately, Georgina didn't show up, otherwise Lester probably would have embarrassed himself again. Over to the heist planning board, we chose our desired route and buyer. I decided to split the take evenly, and then Chad and I got into our outfits and started to make our way over to the casino. We eventually arrived and drove up to the back entrance, getting inside with no problem. We then walked through administration, went up the stairs, and finally arrived at Agatha's office. Of course, we weren't here to take care of the bug problem. We were here to steal some money. So I began to hack the elevator keypad. Now, Desmond hasn't had any experience with this before, so it took him a little while to figure out what to do. But once he figured out it was basically just a children's jigsaw puzzle, it became trivial at best. And with that, the boys entered the basement, just one room and a few guards away from the vault. Things were looking good. I take out the first guard with a hammer hits to the head, but what came next wouldn't be so easy. Multiple guards circulated this room, as well as 2 security cameras which we had to be wary of. So we attempted to sneak around, and things didn't exactly go to plan. We respawned and tried to go guns blazing on the guards, but their armor and weapons far outclassed ours, and we fell pretty easily, failing the heist for the first time. We restarted and respawned back at the entrance, so once again we had to walk up to the office, hack the elevator keypad, and head downstairs. Once we did all that, we got caught again. What the fuck? Then we restarted, went back to the office, hacked the elevator keypad, went downstairs, and got caught again. Fuck, man. We managed to hold off the guards for quite a while this time, but it still wasn't enough to get us to the vault. On our 4th attempt, I took out the first guard, dodged the security camera, and took out the second guard. Then I managed to run behind the sliding doors, soon followed by my boy Chad. After 4 attempts, we had finally made it through. Now, it was just a quick dual keycard system to get through to the vault. We then reached the large metal door, and used the drills we acquired earlier to break through the locks. We then opened the door to our destiny, and found ourselves within the Diamond Casino vault. We began filling our bags with as much cash as we could collect in the given time we had. We collected just over $1 million, and Desmond only just made it out of the vault before the guards started to swarm the place. Vault infiltrated, and cash collected, but the hardest part was still yet to come. Escaping the casino was a challenge that we did not see coming. Both of us had never completed this heist before, so our lack of experience meant that we had no idea what or who was waiting for us on the other side of these doors. We spent, no exaggeration, over 45 minutes trying to escape this building. Each attempt was a little bit better than the last, but we always managed to get caught. After a while, we even managed to make it up to the laundry room where our weapons were stored, but even they were not sufficient enough to help us get out of this hellhole. Fucking die! Holy Chad, here! Oh, life.
Oh, god damn it, they got me too.
After many attempts and many deaths, Chad had to leave, meaning that we would have to try again another day. Alrighty, day 2 of the Diamond Casino heist. I went away and did a little bit of thinking about how we can pull off this monumental job. I looked at the heist planning board to see if there was anything that would make our lives easier, and there was. Exit disguises. I can't believe I didn't see this the first time around. If we can disguise ourselves as national security agents, also known as Noose, then we could walk out completely undetected. So that's what we decided to do. We headed on over to the police station, and while Chad wanted to nicely walk in, I had other plans, and we proceeded to mow down the cops standing in our way, although I did get a bit carried away. Oh, I hit you. Fuck. I then ran inside to pick up one set of noose gear. Unfortunately, I forgot to hire Chad as my associate, so he was not technically a part of the mission, meaning that he couldn't grab the other bag. And once again, GTA refuses to let Desmond pick up more than one thing at a time. Anyways, after a long and drawn out escape from the cops, I finally delivered the first set of gear. Then I headed back to the police station, picked up the second set, and got them back to the arcade as well. Now, with this new gear, we should be ready for the Diamond Casino heist. Attempt 2. Things pretty much went the same as last time. We drove on over to the casino, teleported onto the racetrack, headed inside, and caused no trouble whatsoever. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Bro shot you and then just...
Bro, what the fuck? I'm bleeding now. We then went up to the office and I hacked the elevator keypad. It was extremely easy at this point since I've done it about 20 times. We then went downstairs, took out the first guard and... Wait.
It's alright.
Josh!
It's fine.
Fuck's sake. Yeah, different day but same old shit. Once again we restarted, but at least I didn't get assaulted by a guard this time. So things were looking up. Heading on downstairs, I took out the first guard with ease. Then I waited for my opportunity, patiently. This took about 5 minutes. I then went ahead and took down the man in the middle. I then decided to head into the side room this time, as I felt it was a slightly safer option. I got inside and bonked the guard right on the noggin. He did shoot his gun and shout quite loudly, but somehow the other guards didn't seem to notice. Chad soon followed and we were very quickly back at the vault. We quickly posed for a team photo, and then opened it up. We were much more efficient in our strategy this time, with Chad collecting money and Desmond taking care of the fingerprint scanners. We exited with $200,000 more than last run, but once again Desmond was almost caught, making it through the door with less than 1 second to spare. Oh, 1 second left. Now we are back to where we were last time. Money in the bags and a whole lot of guards and cameras ahead of us. Let me walk you through how it all went down. First, we snuck up behind the first guard, making sure not to be spotted by the security camera above us. We then walked through the double doors, dodging the camera on the other side of the wall as well. Next, it was time to head up the staircase. So we opened the door with our stolen keycard and waited for our opportunity to get underneath the security camera. We waited for it to face the other direction and then headed up to the top of the stairwell. I then headed out the door and took down the guard patrolling this little hallway. We then got past another camera and headed into the next room. I took out the next guard while he had his back turned to me, and we were just a few more steps away from the laundry room where our weapons and disguises were kept. We waited for the guard to start walking the other way and moved swiftly into the laundry room. We then changed into our new gear and picked up our weapons just for some insurance. Due to this new gear, we can now walk out of the building without arising suspicion whatsoever, something that was quite difficult last time around. The exit door led us into the casino, and we slowly made our way to the front to make our escape.
I like how no one's really looking at us, as if this isn't wild.
And we have giant duffel bags on our back as well.
Really colorful duffel bag, too.
Yeah, not sus at all. Once getting outside, a swarm of ops showed up, but luckily for us, we were still in disguise. As long as we weren't seen by an actual noose agent, we would be safe. For once, luck seemed to be on our side, as we managed to run past the police, hop over the fence, and get on our getaway bikes. We thought we were in the clear, but apparently the cops had caught onto us. Luckily, we were far enough away from the casino to not drive through the main forces, and after crossing a bridge, we turned and went down this hill to get ourselves onto the highway. The police were slow to catch up, and even when they did, they put roadblocks on the other side of the highway, which did not help them in slowing us down at all. We had a couple of close run-ins with the police cars, but it was nothing Chad and I couldn't handle. Once we got out to the turbine farm, we used our superior vehicle choice to climb the hill and get away from the cops. However, there was still the concern of helicopters seeing us from the sky. We had to strategically drive around to make sure they didn't spot us, and after a while, we managed to lose them all together. Cops off me.
Cops are off me.
Fantastic stuff. Now, all that was left to do was to drive on up to Paleto Bay to deliver the goods to our buyer. We made it there in one piece and handed over the duffel bags full of cash in return for a briefcase full of cash. Seems like a redundant transfer to me, but whatever. In the end, we only got $477,000 each, due to us having to pay our crew members. But hey, it's better than nothing, and we're definitely gonna celebrate it anyways. And celebrate we did. Chad and I met up with Lester on top of a building overlooking the casino. We were content on just the boys hanging out, but out from the shadows came Miss Georgina Chang, and the interaction that followed made us both extremely uncomfortable.
Thinking that I was retired. Didn't have anything left to give.
How about now?
No. Get off my screen.
I don't like this.
I don't want Lester to have happiness. The fuck?